Hello everybody, this is JT Productions and welcome back to another 2023 preview and prediction video. Today I'll be doing the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Let's get right into it. Last year Texas Tech went 7-5 in the regular season with a Texas Bowl win over Ole Miss to make it 8-5. A big first season for Joey McGuire. He had wins over Houston, Texas, West Virginia, Kansas, Iowa State, and Oklahoma before that bowl game. The only losses he had were at NC State, at Kansas State, at Oklahoma State, Baylor, and at TCU, which, to be fair, the team had some injury issues at the quarterback situation with Tyler Shuck. He was 8-0 when he played in full games this past season. So if that remains the case, if he can stay healthy, they have potential to go undefeated, maybe. So let's look at the roster to see what Joey McGuire and this team's working with. Well, like I said, Tyler Shuck is back, so that's going to be a big get for them. Their running back, Taj Brooks, is back as well. Cameron Valdez is as well. Wide receivers, Loic Fawanji, I guess is how you say it, Juran Bradley, and Namia Martinez. Baylor Cupp is back at tight end as well. The offensive line, besides center, Rusty Stats from Western Kentucky transferring in, is returning. So, big get for Texas Tech. On the defensive side, Jalen Hutchins, Tony Bradford, transfer defensive end Steve Linton from Syracuse, outside linebacker, and C.J. Baskerville from LSU, I believe. Let me see. No, San Diego State. My bad. But also you have Jacob Rodriguez at middle linebacker. So this team, I believe, is very underrated with a lot of players that are not well known just yet. They did lose Tyree Wilson to the draft, who was a star-studded player, but we'll see if they can't find a way to replace him. So let's go to the schedule to see how I think Texas Tech will do this year. They start off the season on the road at Wyoming. I think that they're going to be able to win this game pretty easily. Wyoming is probably a middle-of-the-pack group of 5 school, so I think you got that in the bag. Then you host Oregon. This is going to be a very interesting game. Oregon with Bo Nix. They are a very talented team. I can't pick against Oregon this early with a healthy Bo Nix, so I got to give it to Oregon. I think it could be a close game, but I think the Ducks pull it out. Then you play Tarleton State. Should win that game pretty easily. Then you go with your first true Big 12 road game on the road at West Virginia. And I think you suffer for a loss here. On the road at West Virginia, Morgantown. It's just a tough place to play, especially this early in the year with some new pieces on the offense and defensive side. I just think there's going to be some hiccups for West Virginia early. Or not West Virginia, Texas Tech. Then you play Houston in Lubbock. And I think you get a big win here to sort of get you back on track before going on the road to Baylor. I think you lose to Baylor. Just too physical this early in the year. So at this point, you are 3-3. And people are going to be writing you off and everything like that. So going out of that, you have 2 more games before your bye week, Kansas State and at BYU. I think at this point, Texas Tech is going to start turning the heat up when it comes to this. And I think you win against Kansas State, and I think you win at BYU to go into the bye week at 5-3. Coming out of it, you play TCU. This is going to be a tough game, but I do think that you get the win here. I believe that TCU lost a game before this, and you're going to be taking advantage of it. Actually, no. Sorry. I was looking at the wrong one. TCU. Oh, gosh, I screwed this all up. let me backtrack a good bit. So, go back to the West Virginia game. You lose that game, you come out of it, you beat Houston. You go on the road to Baylor. I think Tyler Shuck in the offense gets it done and beat Baylor. Now, I do think you beat Kansas State and BYU, like I said. Going into the bye week, you have 6-2. Coming out of the bye week, you play TCU, and I think that offense with Sonny Dykes is going to take advantage of Texas Tech, and I think you lose your third game. Then you go on the road to Kansas, and I think you get a win there before coming back home to play UCF. And I think that this is a shocking loss here against the Knights. I think the John Rice Plumlee and that Gus Malzahn offense is able to take advantage of Texas Tech. Before Texas Tech goes on the road to Texas to take on the Longhorns and upset them. I think Texas Tech is going to be an improved team, but I do think that there are some places where they can be inconsistent. Yeah, I have Texas Tech going 8-4 with losses to Oregon, West Virginia, TCU, and UCF. So, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoy, and Go Dogs.